Coming through with the strength in you. Dun 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 dun. Coming through with the strength in you. Yeah, you. Hey, coming through with the strength in you. What it do, boo? Coming through with the strength in you. You made it. Good job. Strength in you. Coming through. Strength in you. Coming through. Hey, boo. Happy Monday, y'all. We made it. I'm not going to even waste your time. I'm about to bring in the king. He got some things, and I want y'all to see him. So, he about to hit you with the stage. Happy Monday!
Happy Monday. Oh, oh, I regret this already.
Don't regret it, friend. We just getting started. It's about to be lit for 30 minutes.
I know that was scare me.
Listen, I'm excited for life. It's some great things happening,
Yeah,
and I got an amazing person on the screen, y'all. He about to share his journey with some of it, cause yeah, we're gonna keep it cute.
yeah, yeah. Please.
But no, I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to have you, and I'm excited that we made it through the weekend. That means we here on purpose with purpose. God got something big.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Totally agree.
So before we get into
Mhm.
your story, we got to talk about a couple things. We won't talk about everything that I usually talk about, but I know
Mm.
two of these things are dear and near to you. So we're going to talk about it just a little bit, and
Okay.
it is be faster first and foremost, and track. We're going to talk about those two things. I want to let you explain to people what be faster is.
Well, be faster is basically being aware of someone actually going into having a stroke. That is pretty much what its meaning is. And how they had a brain fart. Be
Balance.
balanced. Be balanced. E is for
Eyes.
no. B is for balance. E is for eye. F is for face dropping. If you notice any kind of face dropping going on. And the A is for arm. Any kind of numbness of the arm or limping of the arm. S is for speech. Slurring when talking. And T is for time. We definitely need to make sure that we get 911 called or get them to the emergency room as soon as possible.
Exactly. Great job. That's exactly what the ER is for. It's time for the emergency room.
Yeah.
So, and track really quick, y'all. Track is for sugar. It's to help you take control of your diabetes if you're dealing with it and possibly prevent having to deal with diabetes. The T is take your medication regularly. The R is regular exercise. 20 minutes a day can keep a heart attack away. The A is brain fart.
It happens.
It definitely happens, especially because I'm super excited right now. So okay, take your meds, regular exercise. Oh, add more healthy foods to your diet. So a lot of us don't like fruits and vegetables, but they are essential to us. So it's important that you do that. The C is check your ABCs. What's your ABCs? That's your A1C, your blood pressure, and your cholesterol. So if you keep them three numbers in check, you can decrease your chances of having diabetes. And the K is to kick the smoking habit. We know it's not an easy thing to do, but everything takes practice, and with practice, everything will get better. But just wanted to touch on those just a little bit before we get into the king himself. What you want to say?
Before we get into that, I need to admit and bring to your attention and to everyone else's attention as well. I was never aware of track. This is the first time I've heard of track.
Okay.
Very first time I have heard of track, and that's pretty good. I did not know that one. I don't see how I missed it. I don't see
No,
why you didn't tell me about track.
I've been telling him, y'all, he just wasn't listening. That's what had happened. But but no, that's amazing to know. And I will send you the information on track so that way you can educate. Because our goal as survivors is each one reach one and teach one. That's how we elevate and become better. So I will absolutely make sure JP and all of you have this information about track because it's extremely important.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, okay, I see a couple things right now. John Prince, YETT making a difference. Let's talk about this. So, tell us a little bit about you that, beyond everything that you've gone through. Tell us about Yet and making a difference and about you.
Okay. Well, yet is my personal platform that I put together. To help encourage other stroke survivors, also those with TBI, anything to that nature, to know that, like you said earlier, that you're not alone. And, I like to tell people all the time that no one is left behind, you know.
Absolutely.
So we are here to try to help one another get through because, as you know, and any other stroke survivor that may be on, know that this journey is not easy, and it's definitely not something that you can do by yourself. Uh,
Yes.
I really encourage people not to try to do it by yourself because it would drive you crazy. It's just impossible to do. I know there's a lot of other illness, disease out there that are very dangerous to life for everybody, but stroke is different. You know, you you get have a heart attack, you know, with the grace of God, you go in, you get surgery, you come out, and things are kind of right back to almost normal for you.
Yeah.
But as a stroke, it's an ongoing fighting journey every day. Every day you got is something. I can remember. I guess it's been a it's been some months ago, probably about 6 months ago. I can remember a post that you post one time, and I think that particular day I said somebody said something to her out the way from this post, but I know you had made a comment. You wanted to challenge somebody to walk in your shoes for 1 week, and I remember commenting on that. I like 1 week. I give them 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the simple things that we can no longer do. You know, like anyone that may be on the line right now, raise both of your hands up in the air. It's simple for you. Now,
Right.
Joy, raise both of your hands up now. See, that's all we can do.
And you
You
see how
know,
hard I fought for that?
yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to make that happen. But that's what Yet is all about. And the antonym for Yet is the Y for Yahweh. I think that God put it on me to make this happen, to encourage others. That's exactly what the E is for. The E in Yet is to encourage, and the T is for thoughtfulness, and the last T is for thankful. I'm thankful that He gave me the opportunity to be able to get out there and reach out to others and try to help them fight through this disease that we're dealing with, because that's all stroke is. It's a disease,
Yeah.
and it's a life going thing. It's just fighting my way through it. And you asked me what was the other part of that. I got my questions over here to the side. Shoot, I can't remember.
Just just tell us about. I just wanted to know about you in that
But I
moment.
mean,
But
yeah.
now I
But
want you to kind of describe yourself
yeah.
now
So
today.
describe myself now as I describe myself now as a fighter who refused to let a stroke define me.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I say let a stroke define me, not my stroke, because it don't belong to me.
Right.
You know, it's a stroke. And I look at myself as a blessing to be able to try and help others and encourage others, like I was just saying about yet, and to find joy, and I find joy in it. And that's JOY, not JOI.
No, but that's awesome. I
Yeah,
love
you
it.
know, the stroke may have took some things away from us, but it didn't take my heart, and it didn't take what you like to talk about all the time is purpose. You know, we,
Yeah,
we have a purpose here, you know, so we're still here. We're here for a reason. And
no,
I'm just trying to make the best of it, baby. That's it.
I love it. We are definitely here on purpose with purpose, and God got a big purpose for us. That's why our voices work. So we're using them in the right way, and we're both grateful. And I'm grateful for you being here. Um, can you walk us through your journey in a way that feels true to you?
Uh Again, I had to use one of your words, purpose. You know, I like when you talk about purpose all the time. Uh let's see. Stronger,
Okay.
feel stronger and more clear of the important things in life. You know, not taking things for granted, and really, you know, putting energy into others. You know, kind of like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
You know, and then like you know, which I'll talk about later on. You know, in this show is you know, in my daily exercises. You know, I don't just do that for me.
Right.
You know, I do it for others because I know that it's motivating other people out there, whether they admit it or not. Which
Mhm.
I have a lot of people that you know tell me that how motivational I am, how inspirational I am. You know, I had a classmate send me a long text yesterday. You know, telling me how much I inspire her and how
Uh,
much I make her get up and I work. You know, make her work all the time. And at that particular time, I'm not gonna say I was in a complete drop, but I was kind of like, "Ooh, I got to get ready to get this workout done." I had just got in from church, and my mind was like, when I got in from church, I'm gonna get right to it. I'm gonna swap over into my outfit and just get out there and get it in. And I said,
mhm.
and I read her message, and and before I read it, I was like on the fence of going to work out now or work out later. You
Mhm.
know? But when I read that long message that she sent me, and I know how I touched her and how she touched me by me reading it, I slapped those shoes on and I went outside and I got to get it because that's my way of saying that you guys motivate us as well. You know,
Yes.
the hearts, the thumbs up, the comments, we don't take that stuff for granted. We don't just bypass and don't pay no attention to it. You know, we take it and it help us go through our day by day activities all the time.
Yes. That's a great point. I'm glad you said that because we really do need people as much as they need us. Inspirators need people inspiring them too by what they put out there when they comment. So that's awesome to know.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say was one of the hardest moments since you've been going through this, and what did it teach you?
Uh, one of the hardest things.
Uh huh.
One of the hardest things was realizing that I could no longer do the simple things like we just spoke about earlier. You know, the little example you just did with raising our hand. just the little simple things, speaking clearly, like people say all the time that your speech is great. Well, it's maybe great to you, but you have no idea. I can tell, I can tell that it's not great to me. I can tell the slurring going on. And look, I got my little face tower sitting right here next to me now because I know it's gonna be a lot of talking going on. And I'm like, I'm just ready to pinch all my little drooling like I'm a baby teething because when I do a lot of talking, it's hard not to. That's just something that we deal with.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I love about being in the community of stroke survivors because you find out little things like that you're not alone.
Yeah.
You know, and we talk about it all the time on Fridays in our meetings when things happen to us. We're like, oh wow, you too. You're like, oh, I thought I was the only one that do that. No, you're not the only one that do that.
Right.
Yeah,
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 that definitely is an amazing part because we know we
yeah.
go through struggles. So to have others who understand us and not judge us is definitely phenomenal. Um, you made me cry thinking about that song because I was thinking about how I was just doing that last night. Okay, let me focus, get it back together.
But I would also say, at the beginning, Joy, days were dark and very frustrated. But little by little, you just have to keep on pushing through, therapy and start seeing small wins. And when you start seeing those small wins, you win it.
Exactly.
And it's not gonna happen overnight. This is a journey. And Joy, what is it? 14 years for you?
This will be 12 years for me in
12.
August.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, 12 years for you. So, it's 12 years and you still putting in work.
Like you
And
said
you
at the beginning of this is lifelong. It doesn't
yeah,
stop.
yeah,
This journey.
it's not gonna stop. You can go ahead, we're gonna have to deal with it. And you just gotta face it head on.
Yeah.
You just can't sit back and not do anything and just think it's gonna happen because
Right.
it's not. You
Now
know,
I'm.
what you at?
Oh Lord, it took me out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wait a minute. Am I back? You see me now?
Yeah, you bet now.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, when did you realize strength was still there?
Uh, I think I realized that, well, the first time that I realized that Sprint was still there when he brought me out that coma.
Okay.
You know, I knew then that it was, again, I go back to that word, it was a purpose. So I knew that I had strength. Uh, I wasn't aware of how less of strength I had because even though they told me, Mr. Prince, you cannot walk. Do not try to get up out of this bed. We have a urinal, in the bed for you to be able to use the bathroom. Do not try to get up out this bed.
Mm-hmm.
Stroke brain, 3 to 4 times a day, I try to get up out that bed. You know? And I fall on the floor and they coming there running. Mr. Prince, we told you. Mr. Prince, we told you you can't walk. And I'm still in denial. Like, what you mean I can't walk? But that was the first part of knowing that I had the strength. And again, like I said, not knowing the amount of strength that I had, but I knew from there that I had the opportunity to build from that.
That tells me that although you didn't have the physical strength, your mental was
Exactly.
stronger, and it all started right there. So that
Mhm.
tells me that in any recovery, it all starts in the mind first.
Yeah.
What do
And
you
you
tell
know,
yourself?
and see, and I tell people all the time that, you know, I get a lot of question about when I'm working out. As much as I work out, people like, are you noticing any difference? Are you getting better with lifting your arm, or are you getting better with, walking or whatever? I'm like, I see a little improvement, but it's not even all about the physical part.
Right.
My mental is is on it's on 10.
I love.
I can remember how depressed I used to be, how lonely I used to feel. I can remember just sitting in the living room watching TV or watching a ball game, and I just bust out crying.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember getting a text from my friends, uh, family members, or seeing my friends or family members on social media doing different things, having a good time, and I'm sitting at home. I can't do nothing.
Right.
That stuff used to eat me up. It used to eat me. It used to tear me down all the time. But I'm in such a much better place now uh, with that. And I will also say, that being fatigued, uh, we talked about the speech parts, and balance of the fear of having another one having to help me.
Yeah.
That was an issue too. But then I look at, okay, well, if you don't want to help, you got to get up and do something.
Yeah.
So that's when I go back to your other question about, that's when I know that I got the strength in me,
Yeah.
to get up and fight, fight, fight.
Yeah. I love.
So that's what I try to do, and that's what I try to instill into others as much as I can.
I love that. So, what would you say you are the most proud of right now?
Most proud of, I would go back to when I was telling you about my classmate that sent me
Uh huh.
the message. Uh, Most proud of is just me showing up even when I'm tired.
Mm.
It also meaning, asking for help when I need it,
Yeah.
because sometimes, it's like there are some things that we can do and some things that we can't do, and then the things that we can't do, we seem to just feel like we don't want to be a bother to anyone.
Right.
Then you get tired of asking for help, and then you don't get the help.
Yeah.
So I'll say those things, and like me and you doing now, try to show up for others, and try to help others, and I love doing it. I really do, and I know you do. You have you wear so many hats, and sometimes I just get tired of looking at all the stuff that you be doing. I'm like, God, she got another fashion show. Oh, she finna go do this. She trying to go do comedy. I'm like, oh my goodness, this girl need to slow down. But but you say the same thing about me when I'm working out. You like, bruh, when you gonna take a day off? So it's just all about not just keeping yourself going physically, because like you mentioned, that physically part really helped that mental.
Mm-hmm.
The less that I sit around doing nothing,
Mm-hmm.
the more opportunities I have to make JP better, and to make Joy better, and to make Amy better. Just to work and to make give other people the encouragement that they can do better.
Right. So now, with that being said, we know that everything starts in the mind, and being physical helps keep your mental and emotions in check. So now, because you're a person, you're definitely gonna have hard days. Now, what do you do on those hard days that get you moving?
Uh, I would say the first thing, of course, waking up and thanking God for another opportunity because, I realized and I know 5 years ago on February the 14th, things could have been a whole lot different,
Hmm.
but through the grace of God, I pulled through.
What would you say you want the world to understand about people who deal with different abilities, such as stroke?
That is, that we're just like you. It may take us a little longer to get it out, to speak it. It may take us a little bit longer to complete the task,
Hmm.
but but give us opportunities to do it. Having a stroke is just you're just relearning. You know, the difference in a stroke survivor and in an infant and in a baby, a 1 year old, a two. Wait, when they start walking, 1, 2.
One, two, they taller.
It's so long. It's just like it's just like a baby. They're doing it for the first time,
Yeah.
so they don't really know what fear is. So they have no problem with stepping off and taking those 2 steps or lifting their arm up. They don't know that the reason why we put the little socks or little gloves on their hands is to keep them from scratching in their face.
Hmm.
They don't know that. But we as adults, we know those things.
Right.
And I also like to use the example of, when kids are when you have those kids that are like what we call super smart, and we always say, man, this baby's so smart. This baby know everything. This baby that been here before.
Uh huh.
Okay, well, we as stroke survivors, we are those babies that have been here before.
I love that. I love
You
that.
know, we know that when we fall, it's gonna hurt. You know, we know it's gonna hurt, but you also have to know that you got to get back up.
That's the part right
You,
there.
you, you got to get back up. Even though it hurt, you got to get back up and continue to fight, fight, fight. And
Period.
and that's to strengthen you.
That's
It,
it.
it, it goes together. It's to strengthen you. You can
I
make it
love
happen.
it. So, what would you say to somebody who's going through something similar to what you've been through?
Uh, know that you're much stronger than you think. Uh, just don't, like I just mentioned, it's to fight, fight, fight. It's to strengthen you. You know, you're just learning to live again, and just put in that work. You know, and not just settle for what. Don't just accept what you're going through. Again, whether it's a stroke or no stroke, you have a purpose. Find that purpose and do something about it.
I love that.
And reach out. I'm sure with everything that everybody is dealing with, there are support groups out there for it.
Hmm.
Take it, take advantage of those because these stroke groups that I'm involved with strengthen you. My own stroke group, Let's Talk Stroke, with Jerry Ward. My Tuesday nights with Miss Lynette Price. I just joined another with a gentleman named Sheldon. You know, on Saturdays, but those groups they makes a world of difference in your life when you're able to have people that can communicate and can relate to the things that you can relate to. It's it, it's good therapy for you. You
Hmm.
know, like you said, it's not all about the physical part. You know, it's more of a mental thing. You know, knowing
Yeah.
that you knowing knowing that you're not the only adult walking through the store about to pee on yourself.
You know what? We're gonna have a round two. I'm not gonna play with you. No, but for real, before we get up out of here, because we definitely going. This interview was so great, y'all. We got to have a part two with JP because he got to tell us some more stuff. He's just as empowering as me, so this is kind of great to bounce off each other like this. So we're gonna have a part two to this, and
Uh-oh.
yes. Before we go, what would you? What is one thing you want to leave people with that they can take throughout the day to be okay?
Uh, again, to know that we're not broken or less than. We're just doing life a different way.
Now complete this sentence for me. Okay. The strength in me is, and then you complete it.
The strength in me is uh steady. I can say it can be a little stubborn if that makes any sense. But but showing up even when I don't feel like it, it's the strength in me
I
and
love
and refusing not to quit.
it. Boom. With that being said, let your fight be stubborn. That's how you don't give in to giving up on yourself. That's how
Hmm.
you keep that strength in you. Follow JP's advice. And we're going to be doing a part two. We'll keep y'all updated. And we want y'all to stay encouraged. Remember, when you're down, there's nowhere else to go but up.
That's it.
Stay positive because you're here on purpose with purpose. Remember that. So take every breath as gratitude, knowing that is something that you're meant to do. Until next week, my honeys, y'all stay blessed, stay encouraged, and stay up. Okay? Holla back. We hit you with that strength in you. We hit you with that strength in you. You get your motivation, you get your inspiration, you get the fuel to feed, hey, every nation. You came through, we strengthen you. You came through, we strengthen you. You got the fuel to do what you do, hey, do it true. We strengthen you.